I'm Jim Viola, President and CEO of HAI. Welcome to this month's edition of VFR, Viola's Flight Report, where we review what HAI has been doing for you. In this edition of VFR, I want to catch you up on the latest developments of advanced air mobility, or AAM. But first, I'm going to provide an update on HAI activities. Every month, the HAI staff and I are on the road meeting with members, regulators, legislators, business leaders, and other aviation stakeholders. During the last 30 days, I visited HAI members, PHI, and Metro Aviation to better understand their challenges and be able to properly represent them. I also attended the Safran North American Users Conference in San Diego that had key HAI members and industry leaders who challenged me to continue to speak and act on behalf of industry pain points they identified. Next, I traveled to Bentonville, Arkansas to participate in the General Aviation Manufacturers Association, or GAMA's Strategic Planning Conference. This was held in conjunction with the Recreational Aviation Foundation, or RAF. I also participated in the Vertical Aviation Safety Team's Global Safety Conference in Dallas, and Greg Brown, HAI's Director of Education and Training Services, represented HAI at the CHC Safety and Quality Summit. Finally, I also had an opportunity to fly my helicopter down to Orlando for the National Business Aviation Association's Business Aviation Convention and Exhibition, where I met many members at our booth and reception. I enjoyed speaking with you, and I'm grateful that you took the time out of your schedule to stop by. So now, let's talk AAM. AAM is a catch-all term for a range of emerging innovations in aviation. AAM includes urban air mobility, regional air mobility, and passenger and cargo operations. Some AAM aircraft may be electric, but companies are also working on other designs including hydrogen fuel cells and hybrid power plants. Some are planning for autonomous AAM operations. However, much work needs to be done before autonomous operations become standard, especially when carrying passengers for hire. I expect that many AAM aircraft, particularly in the beginning, will be flown by onboard pilots. So why does AAM continue to get so many headlines? One reason is that innovations is hardwired into the DNA of aviation. Pushing the envelope of what is possible is what we do. In fact, the term pushing the envelope comes from test pilots exploring the capabilities of an aircraft. Speaking as a pilot, I am thrilled to see that AAM is inspiring our industry to innovate. Cutting-edge aircraft designs, advanced power plants and fuels, shifts in certification rules. The next 20 years will see a lot of changes in aviation. New companies, new ideas, and new capital will promote a flood of investment and research. And that research will lead to solutions for problems that were once considered barriers. For example, flying safely in all weather conditions was once thought to be impossible, limiting the promise of aviation. Then Jimmy Doolittle conducted the first all-instrument flight in 1929, a development critical for growing the aviation industry that we have today. Likewise, the development of AAM will spur innovations in many areas, leading to improvements for all of aviation. The other reason I follow AAM developments is because I think the vertical aviation industry is best suited to take advantage of the opportunities presented by AAM. Our members, like you, already fly in the same airspace where AAM operations are expected to fly, conducting the same types of passenger and cargo carrying operations. In fact, I like to say that the vertical aviation industry has been doing AAM for decades and thus has years of experience and operational best practices to share with AAM manufacturers and operators. And I will be doing just that when I represent our industry on the FAA's Advanced Aviation Advisory Committee, the AAAC. This committee brings together a variety of aviation stakeholders, including the FAA, labor unions, academia, and the aircraft manufacturers and operators, including traditional manned, unmanned, and AAM. Bringing together this diverse group means that there will be some spirited debate. Not everyone on the committee can draw on our industry's decades of operational experience. We in the vertical aviation industry are accustomed to operating in a highly regulated environment, to meeting exacting performance standards, and most importantly, to upholding safety as our most important value. In fact, HAI was critical of the recommendations for the Beyond Visual Line of Sight operations released by the FAA Advisory Rulemaking Committee this past March. While we appreciate the agency's attempt to establish rules for a highly technical, complex endeavor, HAI felt that the recommendations as drafted would increase risk to the current aviation operations. My goal, and the goal of all HAI staff members who work on national and international aviation advisory boards, committees, and working groups, is to collaboratively address the issues confronting us with the goal of increasing the safety, security, and efficiency of modern aviation. And sometimes that means standing firm for the foundational principles that have served us so well, such as the responsibility of all pilots, including autonomous and remotely piloted systems, to detect and avoid other aircraft operating in the airspace. HAI will continue to press for the safe integration of AAM and other innovative types of flight into our shared airspace. Aviation will continue to move forward, but taking advantage of these future opportunities is only possible if we do it safely. So, that wraps up this month's edition of VFR. Please email me with your comments or suggestions on how HAI can provide you with better service. Until next time, fly safe, stay safe, and keep those rotors turning.